Going on, man? We gonna start doing the real videos, man, because it's about that time, man. People be on one, man. I've been finally getting my reassurance and shit that I've been needing, man. So I'm gonna do my first video today. Welcome to the Shani, you know what I'm talking about. But this gonna be Pastor Uno. We doing Pastor Uno today. So we gonna look into the Bible. And the reason why I be doing this, man, is just because, man, I don't want everybody to think like me. I just want people to start thinking. So I'm going to take you to some of the stuff in the Bible that first made me start thinking. Because I didn't have to have nobody tell me that there was something wrong with this when I was reading it for me to understand that it was something wrong. Because I was reading the Bible. So I could understand that it was something wrong with, you know what I'm saying, with the shit that I was reading. So we're gonna go right to Genesis. The first book in the Bible is Genesis. And the first book in the Bible, I don't know how many times you ever try to get close to God or whatever, but if you ain't never read Genesis, man, I don't know that if you really even try to start your journey, because this is supposed to be the start of man and creation. So we're gonna read just a little bit out of Genesis. All right. I'm gonna show y'all, man. I'm reading actually out my Bible, man, out this Bible that I got. I don't know how to keep switching. I don't know how to switch the frame so that it show you what I see. But in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God said that there was light and good. And he separated the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness night. And there was evening and there was morning, the first day. And God said, "Let there be expanse between waters to separate the water from water." So God made the expanse and separated the water under the expanse from the water above it. And it was so. And God called the expanse sky, and there was evening, and there was morning, and the second day. And God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered into one place, and let the dry ground appear." And it was so. God created the dry ground land, and he gathered the waters he called the seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, trees of the land that bear fruit with the seed, and according to their various kinds." We're gonna keep going. Gotta keep going. All right. And it was so. And the land produced vegetation, plants bearing seeds, and their kinds bearing fruit with the seed according to their kinds. And that was the third day. And God said, "Let there be light." And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark seasons and days and years. And God let them be lights in the expanse of the sky, and he gave light to the earth." And it was so. So God made two lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the expanse of the sky to give light to the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, the fourth day. Okay. And we're going to go back. These are things that made me start thinking in the fucking Bible. Because right now, in chapter 1, verse number 20, or that was verse number 14, God said, "Let there be lights." But this is the fourth day. How the fuck we have 4 days if you're telling us that the lights come on this day? Doesn't make any sense. Because when we go right back on this first page, and God said, "Let there be light." And the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. That's the very first thing that he did. So what is this other? How come it's not? Why do you got to put another light? Why? And how come now it's the fourth day with the sun and the moon and the stars, but if you didn't have the sun and the moon and the stars, you could not, because it just says this governs. Let's read that again. Chapter 1, verse 14, it says, And God said, Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark the seasons, and days and years. So if the sun and the moon and the stars are set there to mark the seasons, the days, and the years, how in the fuck are we already on 4 days? He didn't have the shit up here when he first. That's neither here nor there. We're going to keep going because there's more, even better stuff than that in here. Okay. So we're going to go to chapter 1, verse 20. And God said, And God let the water teem with living creatures and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the sky. So God created the great creatures and the sea and every living and moving thing in which the water teems according to God, to their kinds, and every winged bird according to his kind. And God saw that it was good. God saw that it was good. God blessed and said, Be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the water and the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. And there was evening, and there was morning, and the fifth day. And God said, Let the land produce living creatures, according to their kinds, livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals, each according to its kind. And it was so. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. This is chapter 1, verse 24. We're finna get to man. And God said, Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the earth. Let them rule over the fish of the sea, and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. And God said, these is the exact words. And God said, let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and the livestock, and over all the earth. Now, Genesis chapter 1, verse 25, when he's, verse 26, when he actually said that. Okay. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. He said, Let us make man in our image. Us make man in our image. That was that right there. Who is he talking to? He has to be talking to somebody different. He has to be talking to somebody, man, because he's telling me he want to make man in our image. So it means more than one of them. I'm just trying to get you to think, man, because this is stuff that I was thinking about, man, when I was reading the Bible. Okay. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them. Okay. Now that was fucking Genesis chapter 1. That goes down to Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. Now, this is a study Bible, man. So if I went and got this other Bible, man, my book of Gideon's Bible, all I would do is just flip over on the next page. And you would see this. Because it's crazy, man. Huh? So now we're still gonna go in chapter. We're gonna be in Genesis chapter 2 right now. This is where we're gonna start reading. Hold on, man. Because this is crazy, huh? There we go. All right, hold on. I'm finna go make the juice from home. No matter of fact, you know, come with me right now, because I still got this other book, man. So I gotta make the juicy because we're doing too much work right now. Oh, that's right. There we go. Damn. That's a lot. That took a lot. All right. And it's another Bible. But it just makes it easier, man, so you can actually see how I did it. Because this is the Bible that I was reading before I had earned my Bible. So I'm going to go to this Bible. Okay, because it's way more easier. Okay, now remember, okay, now see, because this right here has a whole page. My study Bible doesn't have a whole page. It got study shit on there. So it makes it a little harder. So after one, in this Bible right here, it's still the same. God made the beast and the earth, and then God said, let us make man in our image. This is 126. Now, pay attention to what I'm doing, because the story of creation, you can go in any Bible, you can get chapter 1 through 26, and this is it. It tell you that God created man and all this stuff in chapter 1 in the Bible, in Genesis. In chapter 1, God created man in the Bible. Now, I want you to just pay attention to what the fuck I just did. Because I'm going to do it one more time. But I'm going to take this page. I'm going to turn this motherfucker over. Right. Right. You see it? Okay. Now, all I did was flip over the page. Now we're going to go to Genesis chapter 2. And thus the heavens and the earth and all the hosts of them were finished. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from his work which he had done. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because he rested from all his work which he had created and made. This is the story of the heavens and earth, and why they were created, and the day that God made the earth and the heavens. Before any plant of the field in the earth, and before any herb of the field of the earth had grown, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain on the earth, and there was no man to till the ground. But a mist went up from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And Lord formed a God, and the Lord God formed man out the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man becoming a living being. I be tripping, bro, because, nigga, I know it wasn't me, nigga, because the only how I found out that this right here didn't make no sense, bro, is because, nigga, I had just, right over here, bro, I had just seen this shit. God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish, over the sea, over the birds of the air, over the cattle, and over everything that creeps on the ground. So God created man in his own image. The image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them. Male and female, he created them in his image. The shit that tripped me out, bro, because when I was reading this Bible, bro, this is on the same fucking page, bro. I'm finna show you, man. He created man in his own image of God, and he created them, male and female. He created them in his own image. Now, when you motherfucking go right across from right here, because look, man, this is how it tripped me out. I go from right here to right here. And the Lord formed God, man, out the dust of the ground, and breathed life into his nostrils. And man became a living thing. And the Lord planted a garden in the eastward Eden, where he put man to whom he had formed. And out the ground the Lord was made a tree that grew, and the tree of life was also in the midst of the river, in the midst of not, okay, I'm going to read it all over. And out the ground the Lord God made every tree grow that was pleasant to the sight and good for the food. And the tree of life was also in the midst of the gardens, and the tree of knowledge of good of good and evil. Now a river went out of Eden into the garden. From where it parted, it became four river heads. The name of the first is fishing. It is the one which skirts the whole. And Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold by that land is good, and Bethlehem, the onyx stone, which is there. And the name of the second river, which is Gihon, which goes through and around the land of Cush. Y'all know about Cush. Well, y'all don't know about Cush, but I'll teach y'all about Cush too. Okay. And the name of the second river, and the third river was Hiddekel. Okay. And the Lord commanded man, saying, you can eat of all this stuff, but you can't eat of the tree, whatever, all this shit. The point being, man, because, man, when you go up here and you be reading this Bible, man, it just doesn't make no sense. At least not to me, man, because I'm reading this Bible and I have seen God put man on the earth twice. But we're going to keep going. And God said it is not good that a man should be alone. It is not good that a man should be alone. I will make him a helper, comparable to him. Out of the ground the Lord formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and he brought to them Adam to see what they would call him. And whatever Adam called these living creatures was his name. Adam gave names to all the cattle, the birds in the air, and the beasts of the field. But for Adam, there was not found a helper comparable to him. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up his face in his place. The rib which the Lord God had taken from man, he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one. Which they were both naked and they were not ashamed. Now that is, man, Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2, where it clearly states in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, he says, let us make God or man in our image, male and female alike. He did that. It was so. He seen it was good and went on. He even ended the fucking work week after creating man and woman. He rested on the seventh day. Okay, and then if you just, all you have to do, in most Bibles, bro, they start putting 1,000 words in them with all these different benedictions and all that shit. But literally, bro, I literally just went from this Genesis to this Genesis. That's it. That's all I did, bro. I literally just flipped make sure that you see, I just flipped a page, bro. I flipped a page and it's 2 stories of creation. It's 2 men. I mean, cause it goes slide from 120 chapter 1, verse 26. At the end, when he closed, he already done made man and the beast of the earth, the fowl all this shit. He already made it. And then you just slide right into chapter 2, verse 7, and God formed man out the dust of the ground. So what the fuck one is it, man? Because right here on verse 27, if I look right across, so God created man right here. If God created man in his own image, in the image of God, he created male and female. He created 2 people right there. He created man and female in his own image. But if I just slide right across this motherfucking paper, right here, it's like God formed man out the dust of the ground. And then this nigga right here that he formed right here, he doesn't have no helper. So by the end of motherfucking chapter 22, this nigga has a helper. The Lord made a woman And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in his place, and he had made into a woman. Bro, this is all on the same page, bro. I don't want you to think like me. I just want you to think, bro. If these motherfuckers were smarter, bro, they would have had these two different authors come up with a greater creation than that creation right there, because it was created twice. So now, on my next chapter, on my next video, when I talk about Cain and Abel, maybe because you know this, well, you don't know the story, so we're gonna learn the story of Cain and Abel. When Cain killed Abel, that nigga went to a land of Nod and found a wife. So maybe that's where the wife came from. Maybe that was from the first creation or something. I don't know, man. That's just me, man. Y'all have a good day, man. I'm waking up. I'm finna go, man. Pastor Uno, Shaman Shetty. I'm at work.